Hi, I'm Nick Mack, a freelance illustrator from London, and I'm going to take you through the full process of creating the artwork for Mary Spender's new song, Back on Land. So let's get started. I got an email from Mary and it contained the song, and I got to play it for the first time and really sort of feel and hear what the song was about. She also sent me the lyrics to look over, and I got to highlight some things that I thought were really visual and things that I thought I could build an idea off of. But I knew the best thing to do was to just take it outside and play it as I'm doing things, and maybe find a spot where I can just sit for a while and sketch some initial drawings and just be inspired by my surroundings. And Back on Land's definitely about water, so I found a spot by a river and got drawing. Changing your surroundings really helps, I think, because it sort of just takes you away from the desk, and then when you come back you kind of feel like you've had a bit of a breath of fresh air and can really look at it again with more focus and just refine things, and that's what I did on the iPad. So I added colour and really tried to make these as clear as possible to send off to Mary, and we shall see what she thought. I'll come back to you and let you know what she says. Hey, so I heard back from Mary. She's really happy with them, she likes them. Her favourite one is this one, which I'm glad about because it's mine too. I mean, I did add 2 versions of it because I knew that the colours I used might have been too wishy-washy and it wouldn't have brought out what the actual thing is. I mean, with thumbnails, the thing you want to show is just the idea, not so much the colours, so it was risky me putting colours in there, but I sort of told her about that and she understood. I did want to show that hand in 2 different ways to kind of show exactly what I meant. But yeah, essentially the next thing to do is to play around with layout of this idea and just enhance it a bit more. That's what I'm going to do next. I can't wait. Let's go. So this is essentially about playing with what we already have and maybe just altering things, maybe stretching things out, making things smaller, far away, close crops and stuff, and just seeing what works best and which one she would prefer as the album cover. So back to the email. I'm going to send this off and see what she says. Hey, so I've just heard back from Mary about the thumbnails. She likes number 3, which is great. I do too. I think it's a really good one. But what's really exciting is something new that we discussed, which is to create prints and to sell prints of the artwork. The cover art will actually be a square crop of the bigger artwork. So I'm going to be working in portrait instead, creating a piece, and then the cover art will be a crop of that, which will be the hand. The hand will be what will be within the cover art, but anything else is up to me. She's let me be free with it, so I'm really excited because it's kind of 2 pieces of art in one. There's lots to do. I can't wait. We should get a move on. I should stop talking. But yeah, the next thing I'm going to do is to draw the hand, get the hand right. Hands are notoriously hard to draw, so that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to take photos of my own hand as reference and use that, and then build the artwork from there. So let's go. So what I find best is actually videoing my hand and getting all the angles in there and then just selecting a still from that video. But it does help if you're recording. There you go, Nick. As you can see, I can really move it around and sort of just really pick the angle that I'm wanting to work with. So I bring my favourite sketch into Procreate and then bring down the opacity so that I can trace over the top. I always use the Studio Pen tool. It's still my favourite. I haven't used really any other pen for line work. It's always Studio Pen. It's just the best. I always try and go over the colour and just clean it up as much as possible. Sometimes it doesn't really matter if it's over the line because you know the other colours will be covering it, but I really like to just have every layer as clean as I can. It just makes things easier in case I change my mind. The next thing to do was to draw the ship. I looked online for some images and collected some of my favourites and started sketching. Just trying to see what kind of boat would look best. It had to be at an angle though, because it was kind of going to be tilted in the hand, and I realised there's not really any photos of the underside of ships. I even looked in my special ship book and there really wasn't any photos of the underside of ships, although I did find one that I liked. But what would it look like on its side? I had to go a little bit extra with this and decided to make a model. I'm not a sculptor by any means, but I just had to make the kind of shape because I really couldn't picture what it would look like. This is the most extra thing I think I've ever done in my life. But I just had to get it right, so I made a little ship. And as you can see, kind of looks the same when it's tilted. I started drawing from it and it literally just looks like the side profile of the ship. So that was a lot of time, but it's worth knowing and just double checking and making sure that it was going to look right. I was really liking how it was looking, but I realised when I made it square, this was not correct. We selected a different layout. This was more like layout 1 rather than layout 3. So I scrapped that. Darn it. So it was time to redraw over the top. And because I'd already done it, it wasn't too bad. I had more of an idea of where shade would go and what it would look like, and it didn't take long to bring the hand back. So this idea is kind of symbolizing a memory or a moment. The hand, I think, is the main thing that is showing that, because it's almost like it's brought up something. It's brought up a shipwreck from the deep ocean and it's bringing it back up to the surface, and it's kind of the way memories work, and that's what I was trying to incorporate in the piece by using a hand. But also the shipwreck is there's a figure there, and it's the idea of sort of not having made it to land, and is there longing there, is there loss, and I think the figure's kind of in that position of sort of looking out, looking for more or missing something. It just provokes a lot of questions, and I really like doing that, and I think the song is doing that too, because you never really know, there's so many different ways to interpret it, but that was my interpretation. And these guys are part of the bigger picture. These are these fishes that I included that makes the whole thing a little bit more magical, I think, and it just kind of completely changes the story into something else, and that's what's so exciting about creating a bigger image that tells a completely different story to the smaller image that tells a sadder story. brought it into Photoshop and just refined some things. I added texture and enhanced the colours a little bit more, and also make the bottom half of the boat look like it was underwater more. And got them ready to send to Mary, both the square and the portrait versions. And it was done. And she liked them. And it's using them now. The track is out now on Spotify. And the prints are also now available from the link in the description, as well as the lone wolf artwork I did. Both of these prints are a limited run, all signed and numbered by both me and Mary, and will ship worldwide, so please do check it out. Otherwise, that's it from me. Thanks so much for watching. Do let me know what you think of the piece, and I'll catch you on the next one.